You ever see those videos with thermal goop all over the CPU socket, or people jamming things into high-powered fans and thought, what would happen if I did that to my PC? Well, that's bad. First of all, you could get hurt, or worse, you could damage your computer. So instead of risking it, let us indulge your intrusive thoughts. Like, what would happen if you used your monitor in the Arctic? Can liquid crystals freeze? We're about to try all of this and more, but my friends, heed this warning. Do not try this at home. Instead, try this segue to our sponsor. Ridge. Okay, drop everything. Our LTT circuit board Ridge wallet collaboration is live. Designed by our very own Sarah Butt, it is sure to stand out and hold up too, thanks to Ridge's meticulous focus on quality. Grab one today using our link in the video description. In theory, modern high-quality pastes are both non-conductive and non-capacitive, so this might work?
Okay, but even if it's non-conductive, wouldn't that block the pads from touching?
My theory is that the mounting pressure is going to be so high that it's going to kind of mash it out, kind of like when you mount a heatsink. It's not mashing out as much as I might have hoped, but there's a lot of mounting pressure on the CPU, and these are older, larger pins. Guys, this was already a motherboard that was a little bit flaky. Don't worry, we don't want to sacrifice something that works perfectly. Works enough to find out if it works, though.
Shut up. No way.
Clearly, we haven't put enough thermal paste in. Oh! For round 2, we're bringing out the big guns. All right. That should be enough that she's gonna squeeze out like toothpaste or peanut butter. No! This is crazy! Oh boy. Okay, I think this is our final stage here. Our ratio of thermal paste under the CPU to thermal paste on top of the CPU is extremely high. So we should probably get some more paste on top.
Yeah, that's good, that's good.
You know you've always wanted to try it. No!
What if we run something like actually CPU intensive, like Cinebench or something?
Sure, I can do that. 62 degrees on the CPU, she's flying.
How is this allowed?
I don't know, but it's great because we kind of need this system for our next intrusive thought. Inside this environmental chamber is a liquid crystal display, but just because they're liquid at room temperature doesn't mean that they are always liquid. They can freeze. What is the rated temperature of this monitor? It doesn't say, but most are rated to 0 degrees while in operation and -20 while in storage, so that seems like a sensible starting point. This is so gross. It feels worse than even just the motion blur. Like it almost feels like it leaves an imprint of the starting frame on my eye before anything even starts moving at all.
It's like you're permanently recovering from a flashbang.
Yeah!
It's like that exact effect.
It reminds me of a flashbang, where it leaves that previous image imprinted. That's what I was looking for. My question now is, what happens if we go lower? There's no water in the display, so we don't need to worry about the liquid expanding as it freezes and breaking the monitor, so it's starting to get to the point where this is so nauseating that I need to look away from it for a minute. But that's great because I need to talk about what's going on here. It shouldn't be the crystals themselves freezing. Those should be good down to as low as -60. But what does happen is they start to gel up, which increases the resistance that the display interface needs to overcome in order to twist them. So what we're looking at here is the most extreme example of how pixel response times affect the gaming experience, because both of these displays are running at 60 refreshes per second. It's just that the pixels take so long to reach the new state, we end up with this blurry, flashbangy, drunk gogglesy image. Oh man, I don't know if we're gonna make it to -40. This is damn near unplayable. You see that? Just like with a flashbang, I almost had, yeah, whoa, 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 whoa. It looks like it's kind of changing in the background a little bit on some parts of the display. Oh, did you see that? The very top of the display is still refreshing, but the rest isn't. So again, what we're seeing is the way a screen refreshes is typically from top to bottom. So it's going like, okay, here's a new Oh, here we go. This is really interesting too. Now we can see that the red pixels, or subpixels rather, seem to be having the hardest time twisting. So maybe their viscosity is higher as temperatures go down. We're only at minus 32 right now. I really don't think we're gonna make it to minus 40. I think she's done, bud. Can she even get a static image up there? It's kind of starting to kind of do something. I think it's fair to say she didn't make it to minus 40. Come on out, little buddy. Sorry about that. Oh, hey, look at that. She only had to get a little bit warmer on the very front for it to be able to display an image again. I gotta get this unplugged before she gets frosty though. Good job, buddy. Here's a fun one. You've probably heard about solar flares and how dangerous they can be for computer systems here on Earth. And, well, we don't have a sun, but what we do have is a CT scanner from Lumafield that we can use to blast cosmic-like X-rays at stuff like, hey, this computer. All we gotta do is close her up and configure a couple of things.
While Linus is working on that,
I have some dark urges of my own.
while everyone knows that you should eject your USB before you pull it out so that you don't corrupt your files, what would happen if I pulled out maybe the whole SSD? We're currently playing Valheim and it's installed on this drive right here. We're walking around the world, look at all that. What would happen if I just, look at that. We're still playing the game. Now, when you're using your computer, the stuff that you're actively using is gonna be sitting in RAM. So we should be fine for now. We can look around, we can jump, we can punch stuff, like we're still playing the game. But the moment that we have to load something, it goes away. But you see, Windows is still running because we haven't removed our boot drive. So what would happen if we did that? Look at that, it's crazy, it still works. That's because Windows is mostly running in RAM right now. You can actually get entire operating systems that will run exclusively in RAM, but this isn't one of them. And you'll see that when we say try to look at File Explorer, there could be some very important information traveling between the SSD and your RAM, and it could end up causing severe harm to your system. You're probably gonna be okay, but hey, why are you tempting fate? That's what we're doing. We tempt it. And it's for those very reasons that you probably expect that when we pull out our RAM, it shuts down immediately. Ooh, spicy. This is what I mean. You don't know what you're gonna screw up, and now we're in a repair mode. Let's hope that it doesn't slow us down too much. Obviously, taking RAM out's gonna be a problem, but what would happen if we just, put RAM in? I'm so surprised. I thought that we would plug it in, it would trip a voltage monitor or something, there'd be a short circuit because of the connecting of the pins and whatever. We don't have 16 gigabytes of RAM right now. We're still stuck as if we were running off of the single DIMM. Can I take this one out now? Hey. Maybe that was a fluke. Let's try this a second time. You still get the RGB. We've seen some crashes and stuff, but I just feel like we haven't actually done any damage. What if we delete System32? And delete. It's that easy. Except for it isn't. Windows actually doesn't want you to break your own PC, and so it asks for trusted installer permission to delete the folder, and it won't let you get any further from this. Even if you're an administrator, it doesn't matter. But I know of a tool, the command line, that will let us do anything we want. Watch as I, in one simple command, and then when I also say yes to all, it's a lot of red. Unauthorized access exception. Why can't I have a computer that just listens to what I tell it to do? I think I know a guy who knows about computers and making them do what he wants. It's Jordan.
Ah, yes, the command line. One final reminder before we do this: don't. Deleting System32 will harm your computer. If you understand this warning, hit the like button to proceed. Just down there. All right, open up the command line as an administrator and type this in. Congratulations, you now own all the folders in System32. You've massively compromised the security and the functionality of your PC. But we're not done yet. Let's confirm this kill. Use this next command to change your access control level. And now, we just delete System32. Okay, so we removed a lot of files, but why is Windows still working?
What if we try doing something? Whoa.
You've angered it. This is all your fault.
Control Shift Escape, Control Alt Delete.
Oh.
Failure to display security, and I've never seen that before.
Me neither.
I like the just X.
Just X.
Do you want to try rebooting it?
Yeah, okay.
Automatic repair.
Oh my.
It's
Oh,
so
it's
borked.
host.
It can't do anything. It's booting into here.
That implies that the recovery files were in system 32.
I think this computer's sufficiently borked.
Okay. My work here is done.
Yes, you've done a wonderful job.
Now it's my turn. Adam's making me do this.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
Don't worry, it's lead-free.
Yeah, this isn't as satisfying as I had hoped. Not only is it not fun, it's a waste of solder.
Yeah, really is.
Let's do something slightly less stupid.
PC fans at their core are basically just an electric motor. You apply some power to it, it spins your fan. But if you are the one that spins it, suddenly your electric motor becomes an electric generator. Let's test it. Here we have a multimeter connected to a fan, a tachometer, and some compressed air.
Now let's spin it and kill the motherboard.
Given that we only saw like 6 volts on the multimeter here when we spun this fan up, I think the motherboard's going to be fine. These are 12-volt fans. The header can probably handle 12 volts. Here's the graph of our fan speed. It's currently spinning at 2,000 RPM. And if we just give it a little bit of encouragement here. There we go, look at that. We need the graph to go higher. All right, we're at 7,500 RPM. For whatever reason, it thinks it's going 1,000 RPM now. That is not correct.
Huh.
It's fine. It's totally fine. The RPMs, for whatever reason, went down to like 900 RPM when it was going over 7,000, but I'm guessing that's just the math getting screwed when it goes way faster than expected. But according to this, it went up to 7,600 RPM and she's totally fine. I don't think you have to worry about this too much. But you know what you definitely have to worry about? Water. I don't know why I said it like that.
Water. Technically, water doesn't damage your computer. Pure water isn't conductive. It's what's dissolved inside the water that counts. This isn't pure water though, so this is probably pretty bad. So Adam's currently playing Crysis, and he's just gonna keep playing until this computer stops working. Is it still going?
It's going fine, yeah, we're doing totally fine.
See, spraying water on computers again can be fine until that shmoo builds up. Unfortunately, everything's got shmoo in it, so at some point this will give out. Is it still going?
No.
Oh.
Game over.
Would you like me to keep going?
Yeah, I think we should stop.
Okay. The fans are still spinning.
The power supply has not tripped,
Yeah.
despite you spraying directly into the back of it.
Bzz, bzz. Why is there thermal paste all over the CPU?
Yeah, the Linus.
5 hours later, we're coming back to our system that we put inside the Luma field, and am I expecting there to be anything wrong with it? It didn't even so much as crash.
Well, here's the thing. This blasts X-rays, which I don't know if you've ever been to an airport, but your laptop goes through an X-ray reader every time you go on
Sure,
there.
and as long as your laptop isn't a, analog film camera, then it's probably not gonna have an issue with that.
Yeah.
At first, LumaField does publish guidelines for how long is safe to expose electronics to their machine, and they're pretty long, and they're probably padding the estimates.
Yeah. And even if we were trying to guarantee that something went wrong with this, who knows if it would actually affect something that matters on what we're doing on our system.
We saw this actually when we tried to EMP blast literally the RAM chips on a laptop. We had to get right in there. Yeah. They're pretty resilient.
So if you ever want to bring your laptop to your next CAT scan, you can totally do that. Tell the doctors that we said it was okay. Do you know what else is okay? A segue to our sponsor.
Grammarly. The business team at Linus Media Group's day-to-day involves a ton of communication, coordination, and writing. That's where Grammarly comes in. It's an AI writing partner that works where the biz team works. For example, if they need to draft up an email for a project proposal, Grammarly can help come up with initial ideas and can check for clarity and tone and ensure that their email is as effective as it can be. Grammarly also understands the context of their writing and provides high-quality suggestions. After all, sending an email to Colton requires a bit more care than sending Dad a quick thanks. Colton could get you hacked. And you get even more features if you upgrade to Grammarly Pro, with full sentence rewrites to turn long-winded sentences into something more precise. And their App Actions feature lets you stay on track without having to juggle multiple tabs. You can quickly insert links, GIFs, or documents all within Grammarly. Sign up and upgrade to Grammarly Pro today at grammarly.com/LTT10.
If you guys enjoyed this video, maybe check out the one where we used a car radiator to cool a computer. It wasn't successful, but it kind of had the same energy.
Great.